welcome to another episode of Convos in the Attic.
Yeah.
So this is a short conversation among friends about the simplest of things, backed up by the deepest of thoughts, all done in an attic. So we're your hosts. I'm Albert.
I'm Dom.
Mar?
Miguel.
And I'm Ced.
There you go. What's up, boys? We want to welcome
We have a
One of-
special guest for tonight.
one of our
Miss-
Iwi members.
Mr.
For the first
Miguel.
People
Yes,
call
sir.
me Magat. Ced calls you Mags.
There you go.
Yeah,
there
for
you
the
go.
first time in the attic.
Welcome,
we have
bro.
Magat.
Welcome to
You
the
can
attic.
call him his special name.
It's all good.
First time you're in the attic. Paris solid vibe.
Thank
yeah,
you.
what do you think of
Yeah,
the
bro.
setup?
Mags,
This is
kailangan mo
home for
lumapit
us.
lang sa mic.
I just saw like pictures and
Uh,
ganda pero good vibe.
Thanks, bro.
Nice setup. Nice.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for the coffee as well, Mr. Albert.
You're most welcome, bros. So y'all know how it is. This is like us having a dialogue about a certain topic, like kind of like a therapy session for us too. So jumping straight to it, for today's topic, we want to talk about something a bit touchy. Can we say that? I suppose.
Sensitive.
Yeah.
Sana
So
after nito, wala tayong haters.
Controversial.
fingers crossed. But yeah, let's have a dialogue about entitlement.
Nako.
So what's our general notion of this term though? Entitlement. What's the first thing that would like come into your head when
Right.
someone mentions it?
Yeah, I guess before anything else, the word entitlement, it sounds so simple, but when you actually think about it, most people really don't know what it exactly means.
Yeah.
I have a friend, his name is Miriam, and I think the definition that
That's a
she mentioned
dope
to
name.
me is
Mm.
entitlement is a belief that one is deserving of or entitled to certain
Ayos yan,
privileges. So, if you think about it,
Miriam Smart.
Last name ba ni Miriam Webster?
Mark, get out with the
Uh,
Tito jokes. Just get out, Mark.
Yay!
But yeah, I do get you though. Like, I hear you, bro. Thank you for that. But at the same time, for this term, for us specifically, for our generation, it comes off rather negative. What are your all thoughts about that?
hearing the term, it can mean both good and bad.
Yeah.
And in its essence naman talaga, it's good.
Mm.
Because deserving of something, meaning it can be like you worked hard for something, so you get a certain privilege.
Yeah.
But nowadays, kasi, it has na-tweak na yung definition.
Yeah.
And is the way it is.
Yeah, I hear you. How about you, Mar?
And with entitlement kasi, ang dami na niyang pinanggagalingan eh. Parang, like, it becomes like a term that's used not so much na parang it's just a word that you use offhand. It becomes a term that you use to label someone because of how they act. I don't know, rough example, sasabihin mo, yan, mga entitled kasi yung ganyan. Like, that expression usually comes out because of something that happened that makes them feel like entitlement is something that's bad.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
So like, when I define entitlement, for me, it already has a very negative connotation.
I hear you.
Kasi, for example, when you say that you're entitled to something, it doesn't sound as bad. Pero when you say to someone, wag kang feeling entitled, or
That's when it
entitled
gets
ka,
the
that's when it gets
negative
negative.
connotation.
Yeah, the
Facts.
usage changes
True.
with how you use it. I mean, it's normal for any kind of word,
Yeah.
but in our generation right now, it's changing.
Yeah. How about you, Doms?
Somewhat same with Mar. It means that you personally feel like you deserve a specific privilege because of your status in life.
I hear you.
Yun
That's
lang.
real. That's real. Migs?
I think keyword here. Sorry, ano ba sabi ni Miriam?
Wells.
Deserving, right? So
Yeah.
keyword is deserving.
Mhm.
So what I feel about this is the reason our generation gets that negative
Yeah.
connotation about it
Yeah.
is that when some millennials feel that they deserve something too fast, or I deserve this now.
Yeah.
But the reason there's a negative connotation is there are some people, especially sometimes the older generation, they'd say, you don't deserve that yet
Right.
because I went through that.
Yes.
You have to go through the time, you have to go through the grind, the work.
Exactly.
Like, it applies in the workplace.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes that's where it starts.
Mm.
Entitlement. Oh, I graduated from this university with this course. I got a master's.
Yeah.
Therefore, I feel I should get this.
The hella
pay.
real.
Yeah.
Hella real.
I actually read up on something similar to that. I think on LinkedIn. Like, there's this common behavior or mindset among fresh grads, lalo na from those who come from Ateneo, LaSalle,
The affluent schools.
UANP, yeah.
I didn't drop schools. I didn't name schools.
Top 4.
Yeah, pero na
since I graduated from here, I deserve this
Yeah.
high position with this salary.
Yeah.
According to what I read,
No, that's true. Kasi
Diba?
I also see it in the workplace na parang you would see in the karamihan talaga, and I'm not saying that all HR people do this, but of course, they get a guarantee na if you come from a certain type of school, meron kang certain caliber. But what I've also been seeing is that yung mga nanggagaling sa hindi masyadong kilalang schools, they're the ones who actually perform better.
Yo, they work hard, bro.
They work hard because they don't have that feeling of entitlement.
That's interesting. Just to add to that point,
Yeah.
Fred, I know some employers, they would use a term, I want to hire someone who's hungry. Yung gutom talaga. Kasi sometimes, if you come from a specific background where I need to improve my life, I need to
You have to work.
state. Para iba talagang gutom in the
Yeah,
workplace.
there's a sense of urgency
Yeah.
within you.
Yeah.
That's real.
Because
But-
at the end
yeah.
of, sorry.
Go ahead, bud. Go
But
ahead.
at the end of the day, when you graduate or when you enter any job, it's a clean slate.
Mm.
So I mean, it's not like your achievements in college didn't matter, but in terms of like entering the professional world,
New world.
you have to start from scratch. It doesn't
Facts.
matter where you graduated from.
Big
diba?
fact.
Totoo,
But what
yeah.
were you saying, Britt? Go ahead.
But yeah, just to, because now that we're more specific, talking about our generation, I want to ask why we're tagged with this characteristic of entitlement. Like, what are your thoughts about that? Like, why, like, say the previous generations would like give us this tag?
Heat.
Hate.
Not
Wrong spelling. Wrong
not
spelling.
hate, heat.
We
My-
get the heat.
Pero it's something that Mags already mentioned kanina.
Mm.
Yung mentality din ng older generation that pagtrabahuan mo muna before you can actually say that you deserve that you deserve something. So feeling kasi a lot of things have changed between the older generation and our generation because of the internet, because of
Yo.
technology in general. We get a lot of things done a lot faster than how they did it before. So probably there's also this disconnect in understanding the effort that we put in against the output that we produce, and yung gap na they don't see because they're not familiar with the technology. They don't see that we actually worked hard for something. So for us to actually say that we deserve something na hindi nila nakitang effort put behind it, they would say na, oh, wag kang entitled, hindi ko nakitang effort na nilagay mo.
Let me ask y'all this though. Do y'all think, in general, our generation is entitled? Like, as a whole, do you think we're entitled?
To a certain extent, yes. Like what Mar mentioned, we live in an age where tech is king. And some people our age feel that since they have this power with them in their pockets, with their phones,
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever gadgets they have, parang, yun nga, they're entitled to something quick.
Instant gratification, yeah?
Correct, yeah. And that's what Mar also dabbled into a while ago, where, you know, speed is king. A lot of people our age, and like what Dom mentioned, a lot of, you know, fresh grads, they try to compare because, hey, I have this, or I came from this. Shouldn't I have a certain something?
Yeah.
I hear you.
Right?
I hear you.
Yeah.
But that's just my point and how I perceive. And of course, I'm not saying na hindi rin naman ako ganun. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I do find myself parang thinking na, hey, shouldn't I be like that too?
I hear you,
'Cause I
bro.
have this,
I'm
but
guilty
yeah.
of that too. I'm guilty of that too.
I feel it's a generational difference in terms of knowledge. The older generation, they don't know how we work sometimes. Like you mentioned a while ago, Mar mentioned about the difference in work. We work, you could say we find more efficient ways to do
Yes.
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's very valid because
I mean, I
we're
hear
not
you, yeah.
saying we're better.
Mm.
It's just that we have better tools.
Than they
That's
had.
a good
We
point.
have better
One
tools, which is
Great way to
Yeah.
put it. Yeah.
internet and all that. But when we show our process to the older generation, sometimes they don't understand.
Yeah.
Because what they have stuck in their minds is that, oh, there's a specific process to do what you just did.
Yeah.
And it was how I did it
Yeah.
before.
I hear you. I hear you. That's
and
real.
It took time.
You gotta put in that work
took
hours,
time.
bro.
But
Yeah.
for us, I'm done. You know, I
Yeah,
already did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you on that.
For me
one.
naman, like, I think it was touched up earlier while we were warming up. I mean, as a generation, like, we were raised, basically sheltered from all of these hardships that all of you guys mentioned. Like, physical work, having a hard time to look for information. And in a sense, I mean, our parents brought us up in like, for lack of a better term, safer and more secure environment, diba? So because of that, we might have developed that way of thinking that everything should come as easy as how it was when I was brought up. Now, when I need something, I mean, I'm not sure, pero dati ba may mga yaya na ba? Like,
Meron
for our
naman.
parents, what do you think?
Yeah,
As in,
yeah.
like, kung may kailangan ako, ipapatawag ko.
Well,
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
No,
It's just that it might have
It's
made
comfortable in a way.
it might have made us exactly.
Yeah. Actually,
Max.
that comfortable, that comfort thing na yan, with the whole technology thing that we all mentioned earlier, there's another thing that I feel like is a source of this entitlement mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's because a lot of the things that we have today are so easy to get. We've also been in that society that everything is just so convenient.
Yo,
No, that's
real
true.
talk.
So
real talk.
that for everything that we'd want, we like it to be as convenient as most of the things that we get. Information, for example, it's so convenient to get information from Google, and it translates to how we actually perceive a lot of things, so that, nakaka-affect siya dun sa entitlement behavior natin.
That's real.
Yeah,
That's real.
it's funny nga na we live in the Philippines where some things talaga are super slow. Traffic is slow.
Internet.
Internet is slow. Parang imaginein mo na lang, what if the Philippines picks up its speed in terms of all of these things? Will we get worse?
We're not even where the Western countries are at in terms of tech. We're not even close, right?
Yeah, that's real though. That's real.
Pero, yun nga, like, I think Dom mentioned this a while ago also, na one of the positive things of being a Filipino is that we live in a culture where, like, as Dom mentioned, we're sheltered. And parang, yes, parang imaginein mo na lang if you were, like, in the States or wherever other country,
Independent.
na parang independent ka na talaga. Parang, I guess, what I'm trying to say is that another way of looking at entitlement is, it's really a blessing talaga eh. It's a blessing to be entitled to something. It's just that a lot of people kind of twist it, or they try to bring out the negativity out of it nowadays. That's why the real meaning of being entitled is twisted or negative.
I like the direction that Ced's going forward with this one. Like, how can we turn this tag around? Like, how can we turn this notion of being an entitled generation into something a bit more positive for us? Like, what are your thoughts on that, Max?
I feel that one way how we can turn it around is because when we were talking about entitlement, you feel like you deserve something. Maybe one way that we can do this is use it as a form of motivation to work hard.
Yeah.
If you feel that you're entitled for something, you work extra hard to get it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Flip that mindset.
That's a good
just
way
flip
to
it.
approach it.
Yeah.
If you feel you deserve a higher pay, prove it.
Yeah.
Yan.
Yo.
Yeah.
Galing.
Yo.
And actually, jumping off that point then of proving it, I think another thing we have to prove is, actually it's not so much prove, it's also to understand what are the negative things about that notion of entitlement that people always see in our behaviors, for example. Na parang, if we act a certain way, why do people already say na, kaya sila ganyan kasi feeling nila entitled sila? Yung mga millennials, feeling nila entitled sila, kaya ganyan sila.
I think the thing here is, do you think we'd get called, we'd have a negative connotation of that entitlement? They'd call us, entitled tong mga millennials. What if, for example, we applied for a job and then we said, we want to get a certain pay, and then they say, no, that's kind of high. What if you just say, okay, I understand. Thank you for letting me know. No, I'm serious.
I get you.
You get my point? Because I think there are people who will actually take offense to that. Of course I deserve this.
Yes.
They're close-minded. They're not open to the fact that maybe that person has a point. Maybe I'm not deserving of this yet.
Right.
Or maybe entitled yan.
Yan,
Yung
that's
mas
another. Yan, exactly. Diba? Doon din manggagaling yan eh, na para sasabihin nila, grabe naman to, feeling entitled na ganun kalaki sweldo. Ano na ba napatunayan yan?
That's an entitled mentality.
I suppose that's the negative side of it. Yeah.
Aside from work, aside from the workplace, ano pa ba?
Like, how can
Like,
we
let's
switch
talk
her
about-
around?
yeah.
How can we switch her around, though?
How about
Like, I
in
love
terms-
what Max mentioned.
How
Like,
about in terms of like
flipping it.
mga
Behavior.
behavior?
The
and-
day-to-day behaviors.
yeah,
no?
day-to-day behavior. What are things that you consider entitled to?
Nako, don't get me
Nako,
started.
nako.
pre.
I think the most common and Mar, tell us.
Hindi, go na, Dom. Dom,
Okay,
nagsimula ka na eh.
No, kasi I mean,
Nagsimula
the
ka
most
na eh.
common would be when we eat out, diba? Especially in a fast food restaurant. And we're done eating, and the usual behavior would be for us to just leave the table and everything in it. Diba? Hindi tayo, hindi play go. Where if, kung nasa ibang bansa, especially like in Japan, it's somewhat required or instilled in them that you have to
Clean up
clean
after
up,
yourself.
throw everything in
Yeah.
the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yung entitled behavior though is, may crew may service people naman.
Yung entitled mentality is, bakit may, well,
Kaya sila binabayaran para maglinis. eh.
Yan.
customer ako eh.
Oo.
Diba?
Mga salad.
How,
mga yan,
please
Brad.
dispel that.
Mga salad
Mar.
sa
At
loob.
saka,
Mga
at saka
yan.
yung
Real talk.
salot.
No, because real talk. Let me just add a huge pet peeve of mine when people just like throw their litter
Sobra.
on the sidewalks.
Yes.
I swear to God. And then they'll have the audacity to just like tell the government, wala namang kayong ginagawa para sa amin.
Exactly.
Bro, you
Parang-
do that in Singapore.
kulong ka.
Kulong ka. You'll be fine.
Mag-chewing gum nga lang, bawal
Oo,
eh.
pare.
Yeah.
Tsaka, di ba, like simple gestures as saying thank you to people who actually do, especially people in the service industry. Something that's so overlooked is, even though tayo yung customer for a lot of things, it's not like it's bad to say thank you to them just to show that we're actually grateful for the thing that they do. It's not because na sasabihin natin, customer ako, entitled na ako to this service, therefore I don't need to express my gratitude for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, tao din naman yung mga yan eh.
Yo, that's one great way to switch things up, right?
Diba?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt or cost to be decent.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Don't be an
Just-
asshole.
Just to add, I like what Mar said. Na, no matter what position you are in, whoever you're conversing with, or kung sino may nakakasalamuha mo, it doesn't matter. I guess the best way to positivize the whole idea of being an entitlement is to, whatever your position is,
Yep.
you treat the person with respect.
Mm.
You treat your work with respect.
Yeah.
You treat wherever you are in with respect. Because at the end of the day, like what I think Magat mentioned this, when you give all the good in that, babalik rin sa'yo. And that's when you become
Facts.
entitled to something good.
Yes.
Because you did something good.
That's nice.
In terms
that's
of
a
the
lovely
service,
POV.
like we were talking about the service industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like when do you consider that you're entitled to something? So, for
Yeah.
example,
There are situations.
exactly
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're in the restaurant,
Yep.
you pay,
Mhm.
so you're entitled to good service,
Correct.
Yes.
cleanliness,
Yeah.
stuff
Yes.
like that. I want to say this. Like, for example, let's talk about the Toronto game.
Okay.
That the owner,
Yes.
yung kay Kyle.
Shout out to the Toronto Raptors winning the championship.
Yeah.
No, pare. Diba owner? That was the owner who actually
Pushed.
shoved,
Yeah.
who
Lowry.
shoved Kyle Lowry. And then, I know they had the discussion about this in,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Every media outlet. Yeah.
And then they were saying, these are entitled people because they feel that I paid for these seats and I'm the owner. They somewhat feel that you're entertaining me.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want.
Yep.
But that's overstepping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's overstepping.
No, that's but just to also give the listeners some context. So basically, in one basketball game, a player flew into the stands, and then there was this guy who was two seats away from this
No,
player.
it was
Tapos
beside
lumapit
Lowry.
siya, tapos tinulak niya yung player na yon.
Yeah, shove them.
He shoved the player. So, and apparently, this guy who shoved this player was a co-owner of the basketball team. So, kaya nandun yung ano niya.
Sobrang layman explanation.
Oh,
sa
non-NBA fans.
that's
For
fine.
non-NBA fans, bro.
Okay.
To all those who've been living
Who've been
in
living
caves.
under a rock.
Bro, we judge you.
Oh.
that was a prime example of entitlement, though. That's real.
Pero the thing
That's
naman
real.
is, I mean, there are times na realistically where you get annoyed, diba?
Totoo.
With when it comes to service, you don't get the food that you want immediately. Let's say papasok ka ng sarili mong subdivision, hinarang ka ng guard mo, mga ganun. And I think it's okay to voice out, but there's to voice out your displeasure with the service that you got. Pero there's a difference with being what do you call this?
Constructive.
And being rude.
Yeah.
Kasi that's when like entitlement sinks in. Yung kilala mo ba kung sino ako?
Oh my God! I swear there are a lot of people like that.
Kailangan ni Tito Marian.
Yeah. Ay, speaking of, kahapon lang.
Kita mo yung plaka ko?
Nangyari yan sa akin kahapon lang. So I was waiting for my mom like outside of a building. Tapos nilapitan ako na
Anong saan to?
sa may San Miguel lang, San Miguel
Okay.
Avenue. Tapos may lumapit sa akin na traffic enforcer, sabi sa akin, "Sir, bawal pong mag-park dito, tinawag na po kayo sa akin." Tapos sabi ko, kasi nandun po, may senior po kasi na nasa loob. Palabas na naman po siya, sandali lang po. Sir, kasi ikot nyo na lang yung kotse. Sabi, okay, sige. Pero yung kotse ba sa likod na puti, na sabihan nyo na hindi pwede mag-park dyan? Tapos yung sabi sa akin ng traffic enforcer, Sir, kasi yung plaka niya, nakita nyo naman, special. Medyo mahirap kausapin yan.
Your mom is special too, bro.
Kaya nga, di ba ako special?
It should also...
But that's so true though.
Diba?
That's so true.
Yung line na yan, kilala mo ba kung sino
Yeah.
ako?
Yeah.
Or, diba?
Yung magsaslide ka ng
Kasi,
government.
Tatawagin,
General,
wait lang, tawagin ko si Tito.
Yan.
ganyan.
Si attorney, kakausapin ko lang, ha?
That's a real ass line.
mahirap din yan sa, kunwari may hinarang sa street up, sa road. So, kakausapin ka niya. Walang magawa yung traffic enforcer.
Sa Burgos Circle dati, may mga ganyan eh. Yung
Madami.
mga nagpa-park na, for example, mga Ferrari.
Mm.
Naka-double park.
Wala na.
Naka-double park. Alam ko may nagkwenta yung one time, sinita siya ng police doon. Tapos, nung tinawag yung owner, lumabas waiter. Sinabi, "Uy, kay ano yan? Kay
VIP.
ewan ko, basta kay attorney.
Mm-mm.
Tapos wala. Okay na. Hindi man siya lumabas.
It should also trickle down, no? I mean,
I don't know who this is, Baka biglang.
you think this is part of our culture?
I think it's ano naman, it's present wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
Dun mo talaga makikita na I guess this is just like somewhat of my conclusion, like the higher you are, the more you use your entitlement or your powers
For the good.
for the good.
The more you should use it more responsibly.
Yeah, like I mean, you're in a position of power. Abusing it won't do anything good.
Using your position.
Yeah, but it's difficult to it's difficult to do. It's easy to say. I guess we just really have to be mindful of the little things. I start with the little things and then it will eventually trickle to the big stuff.
Sa pag kumain kayo, linisin na lang. I mean, it's not your job. You're not paid to do that. But if it will help, if it will help the good of
Everyone,
diba?
Win-win naman yan.
Kaya I think these countries that are better than us, it's not really because of, the government or not. It's just the everyday behavior of the citizens are what push the country forward. The discipline, diba?
Bro, we're gonna touch on nationalism in next topic.
Well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I really appreciate your thoughts, boys, like on this whole topic about entitlement. Got hella insights from each one. I suppose like it'll be a good move for most to at least know what we deserve objectively,
Mm-hmm.
and then also acknowledge the line where entitlement becomes rather rude.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's one thing that I really got things that you guys mentioned, and appreciate that, boys. That was a lovely dialogue between us. But yeah, I suppose it's a good way to like wrap up our thing. It was lovely. It was good to like just let that out.
So, just to wrap things up again, final thought ko dito is entitlement is something that we just have to make sure that we look at it in a we practice it in a positive way. We don't use the sense of entitlement as something that gives us the authority to actually undermine other people, to actually say that we deserve something, or to actually undermine the effort that we need to put in. Like what Sed mentioned earlier, we need to respect other people, we need to respect our work.
Yeah, but just be mindful. Just be mindful.
Be a decent human being.
Yes.
That's it.
Know the line where it becomes rude.
Yeah.
Agree.
Ako, like, final words for this is just know what's worth fighting for. If you feel you're entitled for something and you feel that you're rightfully so, you have to really fight for it. But at
I
the
hear you.
same time, if you're having doubts, take a step back and look, am I really entitled for a specific thing? Because I think that's what happens. There are people who really fight for something which they don't really deserve.
Yo, lovely
Which
thoughts.
is, do I deserve to not
Hella real.
get a parking
Hella
ticket?
real.
Yeah.
I mean, diba?
Yeah.
But of course, like for example, when it comes to your rights, diba? Or we were talking about the service industry a while ago, bro, you're entitled to cleanliness at least.
Yeah.
So yun yung papaglaban mo. Know what's worth fighting for.
Yep.
I think that's the best thing.
Lovely.
I totally agree with what Mar and Mags just said. Let's not forget that hard work works. It pays to work hard. It pays to, get
Put in the
what
hours.
you
Yeah.
deserve.
Yeah.
In terms of being a decent human being, I guess everyone is entitled to something.
Yeah, I
and the
hear
best way to become a decent human being is to just respect. Difficult to do.
You just gotta do it.
You just gotta do it. We're all humans. We all live in one planet. The best you can do is just respect whoever you're with, whoever you meet out there in the world.
Yes, sir. Well, there you go.
Wait lang. May naisip pala ako. Sorry,
Okay,
can I
go
add?
ahead, bud.
Can I add
Go
lang? For us millennials, like if we want that label to be removed, or if you want that stigma of being entitled, millennials are entitled to be removed. The best way for us to do it is to show it, to prove it, like in what we do every day. So I guess the best way to do that is when we find ourselves in that situation where we feel entitled, or when we feel that we deserve a certain privilege. We need to stop and check ourselves.
I
Diba?
hear you.
Because the only way we can do to remove that legacy of our generation is to prove to others. I mean, we have to do it not to prove to others, but we need to do it at least for ourselves. That we are not entitled. And it starts with each individual checking him or herself
Facts.
during those moments.
Starts with us. Thank you,
Okay.
boys. That was lovely.
Yep.
But yeah, that's another episode from the boys of Convos in the Attic.
Yeah.
But
If you guys want to hop into the conversation,
Yes,
just
please.
comment below.
Yep.
We really, really want to hear from you.
Yes, like and
what you
share
think, what you think
if you
about
can.
the whole entitlement thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
what's your
please.
idea of entitlement?
And we will listen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
We will
We
listen.
shall reply.
We are taking note
Definitely,
of.
definitely.
We will take note of everything you say, and because it's relevant.
Yeah.
Voicing out their thoughts here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hindi kami
everyone's
self-righteous.
entitled to their own opinions because I feel that's what
dropping the
That's
title
entitlement
there.
Everyone's entitled to their own
Oh,
opinion.
Yeah.
There you go.
As long as we're
There you go.
respectful.
But again, if we're wrong, I mean,
By all
tell
means.
us
We're
what's
gonna
up,
get
man.
called out
Yeah,
if
tell
we're
us what's
wrong.
up.
Well,
Tell
yeah,
us
it's all
what's
good.
up. Tell us what's
We're
up.
gonna learn.
When and where?
Yo, step up. No, I mean, no, of course, because that applies to our group also. Is that when one of us is out of line,
Oh, guys,
we say something. Mar would say something. Bert would say something, and I'd be like, "Oh nga, na."
Oo nga,
And
sige.
then I'd accept it. I won't react violently.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it is. Open conversation.
Yeah,
At
facts. Gotta check each
Convos in
other
the
out.
Attic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Talaga,
I like that
talaga.
segue.
First time sa Convos in the Attic.
Yay!
But yeah, thank you, bros. Thank you for listening to us to another episode. So see you guys next
See you
week.
guys.
See you.